Kwame Nkrumah in the 70s, and only Italians built a Tema oil refinery. And Oka said the reason why intia oil Tema oil refinery no, na nye say ye de ba junso egum, na ye de ba tu fango, se ne be ya debi no, ye ho be chiri say, na ekuro bi ku, na ye ntumi nya fango a, ye betumi ankasa yi ye ne fango na de aboye bra. Tema oil refinery, a car ekufo adu muja to wo $517 million. $517 million. What do Jimmy T radio so discuss Iran and the American tokwa? What Ghana? Emma, the first president of Ghana, Kwame Nkrumah, had to be a refinery in the 60s. In the 60s, and a Kwame Nkrumah see Tema oil refinery. We sit here, a government just left power, rendered Tema oil refinery redundant. Tema oil refinery for 8 years, they did not work. Government, MPP government, Napo, Kennedy Japan mo, Baomian group, they turned Tema oil refinery, almost turning it as storage for their own personal products. And it's got to do with petrol and our fuel. And in Sembebresi, ewo abruchiri. And the boss of NPA, Edudzi Tamaklo, akwanidia de pao, Edudzi. There's one thing I like about the NDC government. And the thing I like about them, and I say, they don't speculate. And when they have to tell you the truth, they go straight forward and tell you. This man, he could have lied to you and said, oh, you were 6 months of fuel, you were 9 months of fuel, or say you were 2 months, at least something over 2 months, into the realistic picture. Omawo tias say oman na yebu no sebio yade nokra na ebu enti say even intokokra na mosi esi wo Iran anase any America for ntokwa ne Iran for queen say affect the flow of petroleum product cra to Africa and to Ghana. At least you are aware of the reality. Say enya de obi abegina wenim etwa won tro say petrol for 8 months. And now Petrol for 1 year. He has been realistic. Or see, Petrol it's about 2.5 months to be a yebet to me a keepy. And that is how governance is. You need to be realistic, you need to be honest. Kwame Nkrumah in the 70s, and only Italians built a Tema oil refinery. And Oka said the reason why Tema oil refinery no, na nye say ye de ba junso egum, na ye de ba tu fango, se ne be ya debi no, ye ho be chiri say, na ekuro bi ku, na yentumi nya fango a ye betumi ankasa yi ene fango na de aboye bra. It when I wake up na some who say Ghana for TV, so they are discussing America and Iran, America and Israel, Israel and Iran. The America-Iran-Israel connection and the fight, you know, nobody is for war. I hate it when people are being killed. I don't like it. I don't want any country to rise over any country. I don't want Americans to be killing people in Palestine. I don't want the Jewish to be killed, the Israelites to be killing people in Palestine. I don't want the Palestinians to be also using Hezbollah or whatever to be killing people in Israel. I don't want that. Nobody wants that. But hey, we are humans. We cannot prevent it, especially where we are from. So, bogus, let us sit and ask ourselves questions. Why are we today discussing oil beer and the Iran say own release? Why are we not discussing say and we are sufficient when it comes to oil and we are good? Now, Edudzi Tamaklo, Ghana government say they have enough. It is sitting there. They are hoping that what? It will not get to a point whereby we wouldn't have fuel. Our petrol bobe kosro. Now, we are not even supposed to be mad. We are supposed to be asking questions. This is the timer. The so-called intellectuals now, Sebio, majority of you don't have any better job to do. You sit on radio and spill nonsense. You spill shit every day, every morning because you have no job. This is the time you need to be asking the system. Why are we here? Why are we panicking as a nation? Why are we even talking about fuel shortage whilst we have Tema oil refinery? Why are we doing that? Time when you discover oil, how much oil do we produce in a day? Do we have enough oil? We as a nation, when we refine, we should be able to be sustained when it comes to oil production. These are conversations we need to be having now. Now with Jimmy Titi radio so and you see and Donald Trump and you see and then Netanyahu and you say I'm saying for Jimmy Konwa unim dia koso Iran Unim dia koso America. Unim dia koso Israel for the chrome. Palestine for unim dia mukom. You know, young people are being murdered. People are struggling. People are trying to make things work. Enti Saudi Munyansa. When I also we are economists, when I also we are intellectual, this is the time to be asking the system questions. Now look at this. Tema oil refinery, a car, a kufuadu mujato $517 million. $517 million. What do Jimmy T radio so discuss Iran and the American tokwa? What's Ghana? Emma, the first president of Ghana, Kwame Nkrumah, to be a refinery in the 60s. In the 60s. And a Kwame Nkrumah see Tema oil refinery. We sit here, a government just left power, rendered Tema oil refinery redundant. Tema oil refinery for 8 years, they did not work. Government, a MPP government, Napo, Kede Japan mo, Baomian in the group, they turned a Tema oil refinery, almost turning as storage for their own personal products. These are things we need to be discussing. Before 2017, MPP ever power, Tema oil refinery, it was working. Clinker, Nine Ye Juma, a word that they merged the Tema oil refinery and the boss. It was working effectively. We saw progress. Yeah, handed power ma a year in the we left power, we gave power to them in 2017. Ever seen there and the car at that tour. 8 years, tour never worked. $517 million. We are sitting in Ghana discussing Iran and American war. Yet Ghana. Emma Anopa, near beer TV, near beer radio. Now comforted to say we are intellectuals. We can read. Now, if you can read, does it make you intelligent? Look at home. Look around you. We need to have serious conversation today. And that serious conversation should be about how can we become self-sufficient when it comes to oil. How can we? We are not a country too far and go. Yes, sorry, I said the Nyansa chain will be Yenimnyansa chain will be Yenimnyansa chain will be any Tihano, and then Tokos will be close to or Maya ye two petrol, yet your minimum air discuss say, hey, and yeah, petrol because through not when you're Jimmy Phobia or your energy aspect. Now, energy aspect now, you're not saying. Utumu of Fuibi, no, I bet now radio. So this guy is an energy expert. So what's your energy? I be an expert. Now you're gonna need, and you cannot direct. You cannot let your conversation direct people who lead our energy sector to make sure say we the energy now yeah panel. I'm talking about petroleum sector no. Say you too far and go ha entumi ananimu and refine it. I'm an wire now energy expert now yeah we are the same. You're expecting and say, unim say Iran, oil, unim say America for any Iran and then I'm energy expert. We're Jimmy for. When Jimmy Dodo, Ghanaians, we engage in unnecessary conversation. Totally unnecessary. Conversation and yanse bienim. Oh sorry anopa onidi ye. Oh sorry anopa onye juma nye. Neighborhood oti gate choki insoto anoti tensueni. Our house is flooded. Ni ufing. The Nisa Ponchenia Yetiani baby, Kwasiato on discussing what will change the environment or the Kwasiato discussing Iran and America. The amount of oil and as a petroleum product America has store. Do you know? So America ni Iran kaso mo kwa na Iran kaso on produce oil bia or blocky bibia. Do you know American can still survive? So that shouldn't be our priority. We should not get up in the morning and the whole day yet TV Sony radio so adanya American Iran ko senka yawo enough oil ya bon ho ban yetumi refinery who should be worried about American Iran toka. The only part that we should be worried is enkwara ne mba time be wu ana. That is where my concern is. Mr. Metesi atu bomb atu baby I am looking at akwara na wotese me ba age no eno na me dwene ho young boy young girl be or me ba age. The Akwani film. Every time I look at pictures from the Palestinian state near the idea, those are the pictures disheartening. It's tough for me to watch because I put myself in that position. I put my kids in that position. And then the mommy feel he say, when hame. But it's not about oil in your where Jimmy utufango. You are sitting in Ghana discussing say in Tokobia Sinti, your fango nkosro. And when you hear the MPP communicators, We are happy. And Tokone see Iran no, any American no, and Koso, send a bear petrol bobe Kosro. And Kwasia for MPP Bedi Ghana so 8 years. They could not put Tema oil refinery to work.